Quick video today talking about OneDrive and some simple tips. Everyone should know about cloud storage at this point. There's lots of options. Some of these tips do apply for, Google Cloud, Dropbox, any of these other options. Some of these are a little bit more navigations within OneDrive, but it's a great service. Couple of tips to take the most out of it. Number one, all your documents, you want to put them in your cloud storage tool. You may have, big collections of videos or photos, music, and maybe that makes sense to include or not. If you're on a Microsoft 365 plan, you've got a terabyte, so that's a lot of space. But all of your documents, everything that you do, you want to move in there. You're not going to get the most value out of it. It's not just backup, it's access that's really important. So that's tip number one. Make certain you're getting everything into your OneDrive, and every new document that you make, your starting point location should also be in your OneDrive folders, just so it's always at your fingertips. So that's number one. Number two, take advantage of the fact that it is cloud-based storage. Access your documents from wherever you want. So that means get the app installed on your iPad, get the app installed on your phone, make certain it's on your computers. That way you can tap into things when you need them, wherever you are in whatever type of environment you're in. So you can even do this via web browser. So this is a look at my OneDrive. Any files that I have here, I can access from any computer. Even if I don't have the OneDrive app itself installed, I can log into my account and I can get to anything that I need. So even if you don't have your phone or your iPad, you always have access, as long as you can get to the internet. I had a situation, took my son to a doctor's appointment for a new allergist, and I was able to look up quickly some of our medical forms as I was filling out the intake paperwork, and all of that stuff was kind of right at my fingertips. I wasn't expecting to need it, but it was nice just to be able to access anything that I wanted to. So take advantage of that, right? Once you put everything in there, it means you can get to it however you want. Number three, sharing your files with other people is super easy. And again, this applies to lots of cloud storage. But you can create a specific shareable link to any folder or any file that you have. You can do it from the web browser, clicking the share here, or if I'm looking in either Explorer or I'm on a Mac here, I can take anything that I want, quickly hit this share button, and it gives me a couple of nice options as well, right? So a few things here that are important. You can just say anyone who has the link, right? So it can be forwarded along. It doesn't have to be to any specific individuals, or you can specify who you want to have access so that only those individuals can touch this. You can specify just read only or edit access. And one of the nice things is you can set a password for this so that people have to log in to put an extra layer of protection. And you can set an expiration date. So maybe you only want a file or a folder to be accessible for just a week. That's a nice little feature to make certain that you don't have folks touching things that really shouldn't have access to a year, 2 years down the road just because they kept an old email around. So take advantage of that. I had a situation recently. My dad called me up. He was looking to manage RSVPs for a couple of his buddies with a dinner that they were looking to coordinate. And the first thought was like, well, I guess you could sign up for like Evite or Paperless Post. And then I thought about it for a second and I was like, oh, is this already on your computer? He had an Excel file with the people he was planning to invite. I walked him through how to get the link in about 30 seconds, send it out to his friends. Way simpler, probably saved him about an hour of grief trying to kind of get everything coordinated. So super flexible, super handy. Take advantage of that. A few other things quickly. You can scan documents on your phone. You can do this with a couple of different apps, but this is a really flexible capability. So I'm just going to do a quick record here so you can see what I'm talking about. But if I pull up my OneDrive file, now at any point I'm in here, I can see my documents, right? But if I hit this little camera phone in the bottom and I make certain it's on the document section, I can then scan in any hard copy documents that I have, which is super nice. So for instance, I'm gonna come over here, scan in a document, a picture that my son made for me. I can adjust the borders if I need to. It gives you nice little fine-grained controls to adjust and make certain that you're gonna get the full document in place, but it pretty smartly selects it from the jump. You can add multiple pages if you want to. And so you can scan multiple documents and keep it as a single PDF, and then you can specify where within your OneDrive you want to actually keep that. So great bit of functionality there. Lastly, this is actually one of the things I enjoy the most, and I'll actually come back over because I do want to show this on the phone. It's actually a little bit easier. but you can mix your work, your personal accounts, or any other organizations that you're involved in. So here, I'm going to get rid of that. I've got all of my work files here, but I also separately have my own personal account, and so I can quickly switch over to that and I can access anything from my personal devices. This happens on an iPad, happens anywhere, so it makes it really easy if you're on the bus and maybe you want to go look something up, be it for work or if you're looking it up for personal work, you want to do a little bit of editing on a document, whatever. You can get to anything on both sides of the spectrum. This is my personal iPhone that I have, but I still have access to the business account, but I still can do all of my personal activity and things on it as well. So that's a pretty great functionality. Last, I'll give one little just kind of bonus tip or shout out. In OneDrive Personal, and you actually cannot do this on Mac, which is a bit of a frustration. I could do this on my Windows computer, which is unfortunately about to be rebuilt. But there is a personal vault. This is an extra layer of security for sensitive documents, tax returns, birth certificates, passport photos, and it does require multi-factor authentication every time you sign in. So I sign in with my Authenticator app on my phone. When I try and click into it, it only stays open for a period of time. So if I step away from my computer, it will relock. And it has additional encryption for those documents as well. So it's just a nice little extra bit of security for your personal documents as well. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully this helped you take a little bit better advantage of OneDrive. And again, most of these things can be applied to any type of cloud storage, but don't forget rule number one. You're not going to get the benefit of it if you're not putting all that stuff in there. Access is really the best value beyond just backup for me. Thanks.